Hello, everyone. Addie Greenberg, you've been on for a long time. I saw you in the chat. I just want to say thank you for being on so early for this. My name is Laurie Burke. If you guys can hear me out here and you could put up a thumbs up or something in the chat, I'll just make sure that this is all streaming through. And let's see. There we go. Yes, first like. Thanks for joining us. There we go. Okay. Yes, we can hear you. Thank you, Aaron and Jay with the thumbs up, and Justin and Oh Snap. Oh Snap Productions. That's a great name. Thanks, you guys, for being here, and Trudy and everyone. Everyone can see me. Yay, 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 yay. Okay, so I hope you're all doing well. I'm in Los Angeles. It's supposed to be 101 degrees today, so I'd had to turn off my air because it's so hot in here. And so if I start to melt, you'll know why. Basically, it's like the window's right there and it's warm. And anyway, it is what it is. Today we are, well, I'll tell you a little bit about me first, for those of you that have not been on Backstage before and seen some of these videos that I've been doing on voiceover. And we will go to Q&A afterwards as well, a little bit more, question and answer stuff. My name is Laurie Burke. I'm a voiceover artist, as you know, and coach, virtualvoiceover.com. And I have been in this industry for between 15 and 20 years, also on camera actress, as well as like I said, a host, and singing and live reporting, things like that. So I've been doing a lot of this. I've been talking a lot for a living. I'm very grateful for it for a very long time. I guess if you're going to talk a lot, you might as well get paid for it. And here I am. So I've been lucky enough to really work in pretty much most, if not all, of the aspects, all the different genres of voiceover over the years, also translating into film, like for Jetsy, which I did just recently. And you can get on my website, just my name, laurieburke.com, and see some other stuff I have, or actually it's on virtualvoiceover.com. If you're interested. But besides that, what we're talking about today is such an important subject to me, because this was exactly my journey, was not living in a major market and doing voiceover and becoming successful in voiceover and actually building my career. So I'll tell you a little bit about that, and hopefully this will resonate with you, especially in this time right now, especially what we're going through right now. I think that it's going to change the industry a lot, and I'll give you some thoughts about that as well. So first, I'd like to know, where is everybody from? Maybe you guys can start putting it in the chat, and I can see who I'm talking to from. Is anybody from New York, East Coast, international? I know we get quite a few people from. I know I've worked with people from London a lot, and those are some bigger markets as well. Egypt, Aaron, that's awesome. Connecticut, love it. Nashville, God, I really want to go to Nashville. Philadelphia, Florida, Australia, Israel, that's wonderful. LA, great. Orange County, yep, right down with the OC. East Coast, Yosemite, Jay, that's wonderful. And upstate California, great. And London, I see London too. Wonderful. So in Missouri, see, so all over, right? So when I started out, this wasn't, voiceover was not what it is today, right? And in the next year, voiceover won't be what it is today. So, but I'll tell you a little bit about my story, and hopefully that will resonate with you and maybe inspire you to get into this business if you are curious about it and it seems like something that you would have fun doing. So I started in LA. I studied in LA. People that know me and have seen me on other, talk shows or videos or whatever know how important I think it is to study. I'm also a coach. That might be why. But I studied, I made my demo, and then I was like, okay, I'm ready. I have this. I learned about my craft. I learned that this is what I love to do. And I first had a home studio right off the bat. And this is when most people didn't. And I got a gig for a TV station out here doing all their promos, LA 36. And I remember just having to send it in from home. So I learned, luckily I have a brother, a really, really amazing brother who is really techie in all of this. He's a musician as well, as we all are. and helped me out. And I set up a home studio right then, right? So it was 15 or 20 years ago. I have to look back. I don't even know, early 2000s. So I did that, and then I had to move to San Francisco. So my career started going. I also started getting some on-camera roles in films and TV, and I had to. I won't get into it, but it was a very big mess, and I had to move to San Francisco, which is where I'm from originally. So that kind of could have stopped my whole entire career. And what I thought was, you know what? No, I want to do this. I was also studying acting, of course. I can do this anywhere. That was just my thought. If I love to do this, which I did, I already learned about it. I already had made a demo. I knew that it was something that I had confidence in myself because I had studied that I could do. I said I could do this anywhere. So I moved to San Francisco, and with my demo in my hand, which I made, by the way. I mean, I made it in a studio with a coach like myself, but I actually made the physical CD at that time. I invested in a computer. I invested in my first Mac. Now I have a lot of them over the years. Anyone with a Mac knows that. And I invested in a printer that made it, kind of printed on my actual CD. So you were giving out CDs, and that is how I marketed myself at that time. So I answered an ad on Craigslist at that time. That was one of the ways that we would get it. Now we have Backstage. We have all these other different avenues that are continually popping up to market yourself in voiceover. And I auditioned, and I got Google Voice, the voice of Google, right? That went on. It was a startup first, and then it became Google Voice. They bought it with my voice, blah, 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 blah. And that went on for years and years and years, right? So that's how important it is to have a good demo. And that's how important it is to take this as your own business. This is something that a lot of people don't say, but I started with it as my own business, and this is what I encourage it. I didn't have a blueprint for all of this. And I actually just realized that's what I'm doing. I actually am I have a boot camp coming up, my first course, woo! And it is all about having a blueprint for your voiceover business, virtual voiceover business. And so I didn't have that. So I just kind of learned this on the fly. And that must be why I created this course, was to make sure to help other people kind of, navigate through all of this. What do I do with all this information? Where do I go from here? So what I did was I started building my home studio from San Francisco. And over the years, it's evolved and evolved and evolved into different studios and different places, to where now I set up a studio everywhere I go. And I did it on a film last year. You just keep on setting up. We had to set up a studio every day pretty much, because we were in all these different locations, and I was doing voiceover for Jexy. And so I just kind of learned on the fly. That being said, once I had those tools, I was able to contact different people in San Francisco and say, hey, let me do this for you. Let me do this voiceover for you. I have all the technology. I know what I'm doing. And it was just kind of this learning through doing things, to get the best sound, and to how to deliver on something, and how to really make it your own business. So you people that are in different places, even very small markets. San Francisco is definitely smaller than LA, and a completely different landscape. However, in that market, I really built my career, and on camera too. For you actors out there, on camera too, I really got to do so many extraordinary things that it was amazing. It was just, and hosting and all these things that I got to do being in this small market. It's like, if you're going to be in a smaller market, man, you make your mark in that market. That sounds like a t-shirt, but you know what I mean? You should really take advantage of that, and just get involved and immerse yourself in as much as you can. And I really encourage people there is always going to be something for you in your market. That being said, now that this has happened, the situation that we're in now, right? We are just getting more and more connected, I believe, throughout the world, and especially in the world of voiceover. And this goes into using different technologies. That used to be ISDN, used to be something you could use, which is something that feeds your voice, where you're recording into a studio, but that was going over phone lines. Now we have Source Connect. We have other things that are digital. What this is doing is it's just, I think, raising the bar for really skilled voiceover artists. Meaning that when you do this, you have to make sure that your studio is set up correctly, that it is, quiet, obviously, and that it's soundproof and all that, that your equipment, everything, that you know what you're doing and you know how to use your equipment, and it's your business, and you can reach out pretty much anywhere. You could also, of course, I had agents after that. After I initially did this, I also had agents. And as a matter of fact, in San Francisco at the time, you always had to go to the agency to record your voiceover. And I said, why can't I just record it at home? She hadn't had anybody do that at that time and send it to you as an MP3. And she said, well, does it sound good? I said, well, I'm recording for Google and they're using it, so I assume so. So that changed. That wasn't that long ago, you guys. I mean, within 15 years, and that was probably 10 years, ago. So my point of this is that we are evolving as an industry and we're evolving as a craft. And I do think voiceover is an art, and it's a creative outlet, just like acting. It's also voice acting, as you've heard. There's a lot of crossover in that. And you can do it if you just learn your own skills and develop them. And then now, I mean, you could be listed in an agency in London if you want, and also be on the West Coast. I'm in Los Angeles right now. I work with people all over the world. Doesn't matter. I have my own studio. I go in, I record, I send it to them, or we do it over one of these lines that I was mentioning. So the most important thing is to have a plan and really map it out, learn your craft, learn how to do it, and make it a business of your own. There's no reason in the world why you would have to move somewhere to do this. There really isn't. So now I know, even on air for acting, we're submitting videos as auditions, right? So just think about that. Just think about how much things are changing and how much it just all over, and how you can integrate that into your career in voiceover. And again, I this is like a plug, but I'm just really excited that I'm doing a course. I keep saying I was doing a course, and now I'm finally doing it. So if you're interested, get on virtualvoiceover.com. Yeah. And just sign up for the waiting list, and you'll get a notification. It's going to be the next month. And it's just going to be a boot camp, and it's going to be going over, kind of exactly what I'm talking about. Having a plan. I want everyone to have a plan and know where they're going, and just be really excited about it and love what you do, and get to know yourself and get to know all your qualities. And it really don't let it hold you back that you're in a smaller, let it hold you back that you might have a different voice than the one that you think would be sellable or popular. None of that matters. None of that matters. It really does come from the heart, like any other creative art. And so I really hope to inspire people to do that. So anyway, I hope that answered this topic a little bit and shed a little light on it. I'd like to take some questions right now. So I see a lot of true. This is great. I have so many questions. Okay, oh snap, bring them on. Someone else is in Seattle. That's so great. Great. Thank you, Trudy. Love to hear how you do it. That's great. I'm happy to share whatever stories I have. And believe me, this is like such a truncated thing. I think in my course, it's going to be a lot more in depth. Obviously, every video I've done, there's like, I don't know, 2 more hours on it that I can go on about whatever subject it is and really get into it. But we only have a limited time here. So I appreciate, hopefully, that you got somewhat of my message in this. All right, audio face, somebody's asking, Aaron, you're asking about Mike. You're answering somebody. Okay, never mind. Where are some avenues we can find casting calls for voiceovers? Oh, snap. Backstage, you're on one right now. Backstage, I know, has a lot of voiceovers, and God, Backstage, who I love, I get their notices, I see their notices, and they are just popping. There's a lot of voiceover now, considering at the beginning of the year, how much they have just grown in voiceover has been astounding. So, oh snap, I don't know your first name, so I'm just going to keep calling you oh snap. I would begin with Backstage, because they really do have some great calls. And then, hopefully you've studied already with a good coach, that can tell you how to deliver a really good audition and how to, treat this as a business, not just. I think I might have lost you for a second, but I'm back. I don't know. I'm going to assume everybody is online right now. That's probably why. That's happened before. So anyway, I was saying agents are great. But you also want to have your own business as well. And I think the industry